Hey everybody, this is Dan O'Sullivan from Bucks Island. Hey, wanted to spend a little bit of time. We got a special guest to help us do this, but we wanted to kind of go over some of the 2024 changes to Skeeter. In some of the models, not too many changes. In the FXR series, you're going to have some significant changes that help you with getting in your boat, culling fish, keeping your fish safe, and even some operational things that make it a little bit easier, a little bit more efficient for you on the water. But we got Clay Dyer to spend some time with us to go over some of the color changes in the ZX series, ZX150s, ZX200s. We got some changes to the ZXR series with a little bit of performance type stuff for when you're on the water fishing. And then of course, all the stuff that goes into the FXR series. We're gonna go over that stuff right now. If you're looking for detailed walkthrough videos, we've shot all of those in some of those models over the past. We'll link those right down here. You'll be able to check out those. We'll be right back with what Clay and I have to say about the new 2024 Skeeter lineup. Clay Dyer, family member here at Bucks Island, Skeeter Yamaha pro staffer. We wanted to kind of go over a little bit about the changes to the Skeeter lineup this year. There's not too many changes to the actual vessels, a lot of color changes, you know, new color packages and stuff like that, especially in the ZX and the ZX150, the ZX200 series. Few changes that make a difference, but what we wanted to do was ask Clay how these changes to his boat make a big difference to him. Clay, first of all, you know, color packages on things like a ZX150, that just gives people something that they really, you know, to fit their style or maybe match their truck. That's the biggest thing, right?
You know, absolutely does, Dan-O, and to me, a lot of people this day and time want to be different or want to do something to set themselves apart. And one of the things I love about the Skeeter color packages is there's so many, you know, different options in the way you can build a package, if you will, that you want. And it's really neat to be able to do that. I know, for instance, with mine going forward in 2024, one of the cool things, you know, Skeeter's now doing with us is we actually have a choice of two different colors, which if you're wanting a quote unquote, what I call a limited, you know, edition, you know, the number of the pro team members we have, if depending on how many order that color, then whoever, you know, were to get one of our boats at the end of the year, they're going to have a very, you know, one and a very few Skeeters out there that color. So it gives them a very unique option, you know, to choose from.
So I know in the ZX color packages, you've got, you know, your basic tuxedo colors, you've got your black with blue, you've got a white, red, and black, black and maroon, black and green with gray, steel color package, you got a maroon color package with here in Alabama, you know, you got that Bama color, or if you're like me, a Sooner fan, it matches that too. And then you got just a nice gray out model. So there's 8 colors in the ZX packages, which is the ZX150 and the ZX200. Those are some of the cool things there. Getting into the ZXR, really the only change, you know, you might have new rims on the trailer, which always, you know, Skeeter does a good job with their rims.
Right.
But the biggest thing with that is it's a 5-bank charger that comes in the ZXR series. Yes. What kind of a difference does that make for someone like you who's got so many graphs on your boat?
It makes all the difference in the world. You know, for years, all of the, you know, the battery companies / charging companies, your aftermarket companies like PowerPole, you know, you've had the PowerPole charge, Minn Kota, you know, who I'm now a Minn Kota Humminbird Pro Teamer, thankfully, and, you know, Minn Kota, the Skeeters all come, you know, factory rigged with the Minn Kota chargers. And having the 5-bank is, you know, we're used to in the past, and my boat's a prime example. You know, you guys here at Bucks Island used to rig mine to where I ran 5 batteries, but even on a 4-bank charger, with the batteries running the series, you can still charge, you know, 5 batteries on a 4-bank charger.
Just takes a little
but your
longer.
cranking battery and your auxiliary battery will take a little longer to charge because the way that was set up. So now with a 5-bank charger, you know, you plug it in a couple hours and you're good to go, man. And another thing about that I like, even on the new chargers now, since lithium batteries are getting so big, and I run all lithiums, when you set that charger up now, it actually will detect whether it's a lithium battery, an AGM battery, you know, on the Minn Kota charger that comes factory installed in the Skeeter, which is, there's no guesswork anymore or no having to figure out how to set it up.
It's a Minn Kota 10x5, so it's 10 amps per bank, 5-bank charger. It is the lithium series, so you got the PCL in there. Larger cooler between the seats, which makes a big difference. More ice, more water to keep you hydrated. It comes with the 5 battery trays. They went to a little bit different trailer jack and winch on the ZXR series this year. And then one other change that they've made is they went to an EVA foam on the step plates instead of the diamond plate, which gives it a sleeker look, maybe a little bit of extra padding when you step on there, but the color packages are going to be similar. So let's turn to the boats you live in, the FXR series. You got an FXR 20, you got an FXR 21. You know, what kind of boat you choose. I think most of the time you go with a 20 because you're going to be fishing a little bit of everything. If you were fishing only Tennessee River, I'm sure you'd be living in a 21, correct?
I could, or especially up north on the Great Lakes.
Yes, exactly. Something that makes it a little less lumpy when you're driving. Okay, let's start with the Apex. Here's some of the changes that they made. 6 color packages. Of course, Skeeter puts big money into the automotive finishes and all that stuff. They got some really, really trick packages.
Right.
This green color, you know, charcoals and blues, this white one that's all red. Of course, you don't get to pick from any of these because you have your set colors. There's a tuxedo that's option 4, black and red, which has always been a traditional Skeeter color. And then here you got this battleship gray type of a thing in the Apex. But really where the changes come, they increased the megatube by 50%.
Yes.
How many rods do you tend to carry?
Too many.
I know you're a Daiwa guy, and I don't know how much.
Yeah, normally, well, I'll put it to you this way: in my 23 boat that we just sold, I could put 35, counting bait casters and spinning rods, in the passenger side rod locker. I usually don't use my driver's side one for rods, but you could put more in there. But even with that, the previous tube design, I could put 35 with rod gloves on, and they were good and snug. But now with the new mega tube,
You could put 50.
I'd probably put 50 in there. Now I'm 45 anyway.
Go up by 50%. Again, the increased cooler size, 9 quarts extra in the FXR series, and they increased the center tackle storage area. It's longer, which is something that's good. You can actually hold 4 additional Plano 3700 size boxes in there, so that's pretty good.
Or if you're my size and it comes a thunderstorm, I can crawl in there and you can get away from lighting.
Then another option that you can get is a dual dash graph bracket there with that. Again, the 5-bank charger, 5 battery trays, the on-off battery switches that allows you to switch between charging and jumping. It comes with the Minn Kota Raptors. I know you're using those. 2 of them are color matched to the boat package this year. And then one of the big changes is the boat trailer step with the handle. Obviously something that doesn't really help you as much, but it does help a lot of other customers.
Absolutely.
What does that do to have Skeeter finally put something like that on a boat?
Well, even someone that's maybe younger in their age, 20s, 30s, 40s, sometimes when it's raining or early in the morning when you've got the dew, or it's cold weather, and you're wearing all the clothes, you got the boots on or whatever, having the bar and the steps with that, I call the non-skid type stuff on them, it just makes it safer. When you're on a steep boat ramp, you never can tell. I mean, even the able-bodied guys, younger guys like myself, sometimes I misstep and lose my balance, and having that on there to where you don't have to worry about slipping and falling is really nice. It's very, it's very user friendly. It stays out of the way when you're trying to back. You don't have to worry about necessarily hitting the tailgate on the truck unless you just almost totally jackknife, which is really nice.
Yep.
And one thing I did want to mention that you had brought it up, but I thought it'd be neat to kind of go into depth for maybe the people that don't know this yet. But like you're talking about the dual battery trays, I think it's really neat how they have done the new battery trays, where you can actually, if you do like myself and you run 2 cranking batteries, because I designate one for just my electronics, and I designate the other one to run all the other accessories. And instead of having to worry about positioning 2 trays and getting them just right, now with that double tray, where you can set both batteries in one tray, to me, it's a lot cleaner. There's, it's going to work a lot better.
Well, the other thing that's in the FXR series, especially in the Limiteds and the Apex, both of them, is this new, I guess they're calling it a fish protecting pad.
Yes.
A lot of guys put pool noodles in their live wells to keep the fish from slamming the screws and under the lids and everything to protect them. Skeeter came up with a fish pillow, per se.
Yes.
That does. As an angler, how does that help you?
I tell you, when I realized we were doing that, man, I went there. I had a big grin on my face because just this last tournament of the year in Florida a few weeks ago, I almost cut some pool noodles and put in my boat. And then I happened to see the video that I think Bradley Hallman did,
Yep.
one of the Elite Series guys, where the particles came off his pool noodle up north a few months back and stopped up the live well, the filter
Yep.
on the recirc. And I thought, whoa, wait a minute, I don't want to take that chance. You know, talking about that, the fish pillow, like I love that name for it, but that protector, you know, in the live well, what a lot of people don't realize is, yes, the fish, if you're in some rough water and it's sloshing, even if your live wells are full, the fish can still, even though the water may not be sloshing, the fish can still, you know, get moved in there by the action, you know, of the boat and the waves and stuff. And instead of beating the fish up by them hitting the top of the live well on the, you know, where the aluminum is,
The
or
locks,
whatever,
the screws
you know,
underneath the lids, all
the
that
latch,
stuff.
you know, coming off the lid. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I really love about it. When you're getting ready to cull, so many times if the fish are really amped up, when you open that lid, they're gonna come out.
Yep.
And culling tags or not. And what I love about it, the way you can take it and maneuver that cover, that fish pillow, if you will, the cover in there, you can maneuver it to where you can reach in there, get the fish out, but yet they're not going to be able to jump and come out of the live well. You know, I've seen people, and I think it's a great idea, where they'll open their back battery lid and when they open their live well, so if a fish does come out, the chances are less,
Yeah.
you know, them going out. But having this, you don't have to do all the extra
Yep.
raising lids, so it's going to be really nice.
Of course, 8 new color packages in the Skeeter FXR Limited lineup. Of course, there's the Pro packages, which you'll have to wait until the end of the year to be able to buy a boat from someone like Clay. But you've got your black, whites, and reds. You got your black and reds. You got your white, blacks, and blues. You got your tuxedos. The new wisteria color. You've got black with lime green. You've got the battleship gray, and of course, you got a blackout Darth Vader type version that you have. Those are all available here at Bucks Island. And Clay, man, thanks for taking some time and giving us some perspective on the changes. I think the biggest impacts are going to be the step with the grab handle. The fish pillow is a big deal. And then, of course, having a 5-bank charger is going to make a big difference for a lot of guys.
You know, a lot of people don't realize in tournaments, and even just on a fun day on the water, if you're not a serious tournament angler, or, you know, or do it full time like I do, those options are awesome just to make the day easier, more efficient, more comfortable. It's neat having those options, and I tell you guys what, you know, there's many great Skeeter dealers across this country. I've been very blessed to be right here at Bucks Island now since when I found out y'all were back a Skeeter dealer a few years ago, and they're home to me, and they take care of everything on our boats. They're our pit crew, if you will, you know, when we need something during the year, and they're phenomenal customer service is incredible, you know, as Skeeter is and the company is. It sure is a blessing to have Bucks Island and have my brother Dano and all the crew here. I know they got my back, and we appreciate it, brother.
Well, we do. We got all your back, too. Come by and see us at Bucks Island. We'll have all the colors. If not, we can get it for you. If it's not in stock yet, it's coming. See Katie and Melissa and Patrick in the sales department. Of course, if you need service, we can take care of that Yamaha, too, with Israel and Misty and the people down there. Stop by Bucks Island and see us. We got what you need. We got people like him around, too.